If you're looking for a commuter car that doesn't just get good, but exceptional fuel economy, there are two standout options. I'm driving a car that's fundamentally changed the auto industry and that defines the word hybrid, the Toyota Prius.
And I'm driving the Volkswagen Jetta TDI. It's about turbo, saving some bucks, and having a little fun on the road. All right, let's give you the goods. Under the hood, we've got a 2.0 liter turbocharged 16-valve 4-cylinder engine. It's powerful and it's fantastic. Let's lay out the transmission options. First up, you can have a 6-speed dual clutch automatic, or you can go for a 6-speed manual transmission. Drivetrain, front wheel drive. 140 horsepower at 4,000 RPM. Now, though the horsepower doesn't feel like much, it's all about the torque. 236 pound-feet of torque at 1,750 RPM. 0 to 60 in 8.3 seconds. And of course, this car is all about fuel efficiency, 30 mpgs in the city and 42 on the highway. Now you're wondering how much this is all going to cost you? The base Jetta TDI starts under $23,000, but this particular model, the TDI Premium with navigation, is over $25,000.
Under the hood is a 1.8 liter gasoline engine mated to an electric motor using Toyota's hybrid synergy drive system. Combined electric and gasoline engine results in 134 horsepower. The result is a 0 to 60 time in a pretty slow 9.8 seconds. And of course, the impressive fuel economy with 51 miles per gallon in the city, 48 on the highway, and a combined segment-leading 50 miles per gallon. Starting at $24,000, you can get a fully loaded Prius for just under $30,000. The Jetta's strong suit certainly isn't in the looks department. Sure, it's got this nice 2-bar chrome grille on the front, and one could argue that head-on, maybe it's handsome, but from every other angle, it's totally nondescript. They really makes you wonder why people pick on cars like the Corolla so much for being boring. And of course, they painted this one hipster brown.
Now, I like the concept of a hybrid vehicle, but my only complaint about this particular vehicle is the design and, of course, the color of this particular model. The design itself, I think for a hybrid vehicle, you'd want something that's slim and has great aerodynamics. This, for me, is just a little too much on the bulky side. Back end, too big. Front end, really? Not necessary. And then this color, this ice cream mint green, not my choice. But if Toyota was going to do something in the future for this particular model, I would slim it down, give it better styling, and not make it look like a bulky race car.
I'm back in my car, the Prius. And while I admit there is a lot of plastic in here and it's pretty odd looking, especially with this little joystick, it is also very futuristic. I also love the level of standard features. Included on that list is climate control. You've also got a keyless access with a push button ignition. Add on that this 6.1-inch display screen, plus Toyota's added a bunch of new features to the hybrid display screen as well. You can also add on faux leather seats. They've got an 8-way power driver's seat you can have. There's a lane keeping assist feature, radar-based cruise control, and on top of all that, there's a solar panel roof which works to keep the car cool even when you're not in it. Essentially, a lot of features the Volkswagen doesn't offer.
First and foremost, the Jetta is not a Prius. The Jetta has a legacy, it's got a following. It's been around for a while, and when it comes to interior, of course, the cosmetics of it are straight up premium, just like something you would find almost in a BMW as well as Mercedes-Benz. Furthermore, going back to the dash, the multifunction trip computer as well as the speedometer, tachometer, odometer, trip odometer, fuel gauge, clock, and outside temperature, I know it's a lot of ometers, but they all make sense and they're all necessary, and I love the design for them. Bottom line, if you don't want an interior that looks like something that should be on the Starship Enterprise, go for the Jetta.
To better suit your driving mood, the Prius comes with several different drive modes available through buttons on the dash. Most importantly, there is an eco mode, which really just makes it so that the throttle is really very dull. You have to press it really hard to get any power out of the car, and it's really just forcing you to drive fuel efficiently. On the other side of things, there is a power button. It makes the throttle much more responsive. The car really jumps to life, although I have to admit that it's nothing compared to the torque of the Volkswagen TDI. I will admit that the Prius doesn't feel as well planted at highway speeds as the Jetta does. And when it comes to sort of driving dynamics, while neither car is a performance machine, the Jetta is better in that respect as well. And of course, what I love the most about the Prius is the fuel economy. Now, we've mentioned that 50 mile per gallon number, but the Prius, in my test on my morning commute, I averaged 57 miles per gallon. That's 25% better than I got doing the same drive in the Jetta TDI. Perhaps most impressively, I actually drove it one day in full eco mode. I drove it the very next day in the power mode, and to my surprise, only returned 1 mile per gallon less, which means I can put it in power mode all the time with really no penalty.
With this particular model, the premium with navigation, you get Tiptronic and sports mode transmission options. So you can play with that in the sense where if you feel the need for speed, well, you could just downshift or upshift within regards to the Tiptronic mode. The sports mode, which doesn't allow any manual shifting on your own, still allows you to have a little power and fun. It sounds like you're in a standard manual vehicle. So this car's fast, the braking is fantastic, the navigation and display console is so-so, still takes a lot of figuring out, but at the same time, this car is way more fun to drive to work than a Prius, especially when you've got massive power, great control, and of course, that sound. It's not just a diesel engine, it's a turbo diesel engine, so you get that power, you get that play, and you also get to save on gas. All right, it's time to wrap things up. We're going to tell you what we love and what we would leave. Colin, first up, what did you love on the Prius?
I have to say, I really love the fuel economy. 50 miles per gallon, can't go wrong. On top of that, I love the cool green styling and all those available features that the Volkswagen just doesn't offer.
All right, fine. Now, what would you leave behind?
I have to say, I mean, it's the powertrain in terms of the power delivery. It's really slow, it's lethargic, and it's just no fun to drive. So Richard, what makes you love the Jetta TDI so much?
For one, it's the Volkswagen reputation that I love. They're going to continue to make Jettas, and they're going to continue to make them better. I love the turbocharged engine. I love the power behind the Jetta, as well as the fuel economy is something that I truly appreciate in a fast car, because I felt like I never had to go to the gas station. I had a powerful vehicle, and interior-wise, it was comfortable. It was comfortable for commute. I think that it could still stand to use a little more room, but it was still nice to be inside.
So there must be something you don't like, though.
Okay. The one thing I will say is that it's a diesel engine, and even though they've worked so hard to make them quieter, it still has that clacking sound when the windows are down. Not attractive. Also, what else would I leave? Trunk space is fantastic, but the back space room is not that great. If you've got kids, it works, but for grown adults, I didn't enjoy that as well. Something else that I'm not too crazy about when it comes to the vehicle itself is that it was really pushy and touchy. So when it comes to acceleration, when it comes to driving itself, you have some moments where you're really being lifted off and pushed, and then there are other moments where you're just waiting for something to happen. All right, Colin, so what driver's seat would you prefer to be in, the Prius or the Jetta?
It's not an easy decision for me to make. I do really enjoy the torque of the TDI, but I'm a pragmatic person. It's not just about 50 miles per gallon. It's about legendary Toyota reliability, knowing that I can count on that all the time. And so the Prius is what I'm going to be driving away in. And how about you?
Okay, mixed feelings, and I'll tell you why. The driver's seat of the Prius is a great idea. There's a certain level of comfort, and of course you've got that fuel efficiency. You get 42 miles per gallon on the highway in the Jetta, but the Jetta's power is what I think makes it stand out. It's the reputation, it's the power, it's the vehicle itself. Also design-wise, I think it's a little stronger, so for sure you would find me in the driver's seat of a Jetta.